Oh my god, we're live!
Yeah.
Um, for people who are new, this is my live podcast that I've been doing for like 2 years now. This is the third year. Uh, and what better way to start off the third season, first episode, is with my partner in crime, Gregory Hall,
Yo.
who's who started Geek Supremacy Project. So yeah, this is going to be a free form one. We don't really have a guest this time or anything in particular to talk about. But both of us have been like super busy and doing other things. So we just figure we, shamelessly pimp ourselves out.
Yeah. Shit. I got lost in thought for a second. Uh. So anyway, what you been up to? You not
Um,
have.
well, I have had a hard year. A lot of things have changed. Um, Freelancing is super hard. I did it for a really long time and realized that I just needed to have a day job again. But I only work part time because that's all my body with my health issues will allow me to do. So I still freelance, and I'm involved in like I don't know 9 million projects. I I thought I was going to slow down, but I have a really hard time saying no to things. um, but on one sad note, I have had about 6 people in my life, one way or another, die. So it's been kind of like a roller coaster of things happening. But on the upswing, lots of good things have been happening. Well, I did start my new job, and I love it. I sell art supplies to college students, so that's cool. Um, I am involved in a burlesque troupe. Well, it's not just burlesque, but basically we do burlesque shows mixed with live music and drag and belly dance, stuff like that. It's called Atropa Productions. We had first um, our first one in December of last year or November of last year, somewhere around there. So we're doing quarterly shows, and the one that's coming up is all my idea because I'm awesome and I have great ideas. It's a John Waters themed show, so it's mostly gonna be burlesque, couple of drag acts, and then I have a band. So I'm really looking forward to that show. I haven't been performing burlesque as much because I've been concentrating on the producing side of things. And also, my focus now is more on music. I'm starting a music project with a friend of mine, and we're trying to get some stuff together. Um, Other than that, I
What
don't
kind of
think
music?
I've done much.
What kind of music?
Mostly dream pop, shoegazy stuff, what I normally listen to.
Oh, like what's
um,
that thing? Washout that does the theme for Portlandia.
what about Portlandia? What did you
Like
say?
that band they call Washed Out. That kind of music.
Oh, okay. Washed out. Sorry, I couldn't hear you very well. Well, I mean it's ambient, but no, washed out's a little bit different. It's a little bit more in the psychedelic realm of things, I guess. But yeah, not too far off. It's just very like it's mostly going to be very calm. Um, my lyrics are incredibly sad, but the way I'm going to do my vocals, you probably can't even understand them. um,
Man, don't put out no emo shit now.
it's dreamy emo.
Really.
Maybe that's what I should call it. I
Like,
don't
I'm
know.
so alone. I'm so alone.
Well, it's such in like the demo stages of things. It hasn't really formed the sound that's probably going to happen, and it's not going to be just me. It's basically a collaborative effort. We have several people that are interested in the same type of music, so I'm very excited to see what other people can bring to the table. I have never done anything on my own like this. Anytime I've done anything with my friends' bands, it's been like, hey, can you sing this part? Or hey, can you play this part? And I'm like, cool, I'll do that. But this is the first time I've actually done my own thing, and it's super scary.
That's actually, well, then that's a good thing. If it's scary, then you know you're going in the right direction.
Yeah, it's very scary. On a quick note, if you are watching and you have any questions or comments for us, you can do so on the YouTube comment section. You can also ask and comment via Twitter using the hashtag #regularlunch, which I will have up and looking at. So yeah, feel free to participate. Yeah, well, anyway, that's what I've been doing. I feel like I'm involved in like 9 million things. I haven't been doing as much with photography. I still shoot a lot, like mostly musicians, but I'm just now starting to get back into doing more higher concept things with models because I have 3 shows coming up in Seattle. I have October, I'm going to be, every October I show my stuff at the Mercury because I curate the art wall, and it's my birthday month, so I give my birthday month to myself.
Nice.
And then I'm going to be doing a solo show that my friend Braden booked me for in November, and then in December, me and my friend Braden are going to do a joint show. So I have 2 different concepts, 2 different bodies of work that I'm working on right now and trying to get together for those shows. Yeah, and then, I gotta talk about Moon Sounds Records. Talking about getting more into music. For the past almost year, I guess. I don't know when I started there. My friend Jacques, who runs Moon Sounds Records, brought me on to help with promotions, and I do the website and stuff. We have a lot of really good like shoegaze and experimental bands on that. So yeah, we're releasing a whole bunch of new stuff. You should check out Moon Sounds Records. We're on Facebook, and we don't have an actual .com, but it's moonsoundrecords.yolasite.com or something like that. It's like whatever the hosting is. Unfortunately, that's all we can do right now.
Shit, you got a lot going on. God damn.
Yeah, that is a lot, and you know, I don't get paid for most of it, but what I choose to spend my time on is like, especially for free or very little compensation, is because I'm really like invested in it and like really believe in what I'm doing, and whoever I'm helping. So I don't know. I figured just do things that you love to do, and if you get paid, that's cool. If not, yeah, whatever.
Look at it. I'm trying to get paid. Shit, I'm broke. Like, pay
I would
me.
like to get paid. I would like to, you know, be a full-time freelance artist. But it's just so hard. At least I have like a part-time job that I absolutely love. I love the people I work with. So that's all I can really ask for, is like the least amount of like negative stress. I mean, there's always stress with everything, but you know, I don't know. I try to put my stress in the positive things, like I have to get this poster done for this event. I have to book these people. I have to email these people. It's all doing things that I love doing, so I don't mind that type of stress, but yeah.
Keeps you busy.
But what are you doing? You're doing comedy stuff. You should talk about that.
Yeah, no, I'm just whoring myself out there on the streets of New York City. Nah. Telling jokes at the local McDonald's now. Telling jokes at the Chinese food spot now. Yeah, I've been busy. Been focusing all my energy in stand-up. I don't know if I told you about a few months back, right in the winter, I was studying improv at the Pit, the People's Improv Theater. And then I was doing stand-up at the same time. And then, which is, I love improv and sketch comedy. I saw myself more as a stand-up comic, and I started focusing my energy 100% in the stand-up comedy. Just been performing, doing as many mics as I can, trying to get funnier, booking shows, doing a lot of bar shows in New York City. I actually have a show coming up, so if anybody, here's a shameless plug coming. If anybody watching and you in the tri-state area, I'll be performing at Broadway Comedy Club for Sophia and Friends Comedy Showcase. It's Broadway Comedy Club. I believe it's West 53rd Street. Come out a Friday, 9 o'clock to 12. Come out, see me, and a host of other talented, New York comics. Come out and have a drink and have a good time. And that's pretty much it for me. I just been focusing on comedy, just getting funny as a stand-up. I just, been working. I got a 9 to 5, so I barely have any time to think. Like usually Monday is the only day I'm home, and even still I'm not home. Like right now I'm home, but I was out earlier running errands and shit. Happens to be married and all that sort of stuff. But I'm enjoying it. That's what I love to do. That's my love, comedy. I like making people happy, making people laugh, pissing people off. I piss more people off than I make happy, but whatever.
Well, if you're not pissing somebody off, then you're doing something wrong in comedy, right?
It's not even just in comedy. This is life. I can piss people off. So I'm just it's what it is. I don't give a shit. I stopped giving a fuck about what people think of me a long time ago. I'm getting late, so I can't even talk. Long goddamn time ago. I'll tell you that right now. I'm always pissing somebody off. But it's all good. It is what it is. As long as you love me, Mandy, that's all that matters.
Have you done any other podcasts? Didn't you have the dynamic duo thing going?
Oh yeah, I had the Super Dynamo podcast because I was coming out of retirement and was with my friend and comedy partner Sandy Chesimone, and we were doing it was this comedian in parks. We would go to the different parks in New York City. 1 week we'll be in Central Park, the next week we're in Madison Square Park, Washington Park, Union Square, so on and so forth. And we would just record a podcast. But I'm crazy busy and Sandy's crazy busy, and we just couldn't find a way to really. Neither one of us couldn't commit to it, and we kind of just was like, all right, let's just put it on hold for a while, But that's why that happened. We're cool still. That's still my girl in the bag of pearls. It's just that me and her both were it was hard for her and I to devote our time to that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I said, so kind of I have a couple other projects that's in the realm of comedy that I'm working on, but they're all in the blueprint stages. You know what I mean? I'm kind of waiting. Not that I'm waiting because you never should wait for shit. You should just do it. But I'm just trying to figure out how am I going to attack it? How am I going to attack it and what direction I want to go in? And I got fucking ADD that shit. But just trying to figure out a way to attack it properly. But it's still all in the realm of comedy. That's my shit. But just at the moment, trying to get funnier and become a better comic because nobody's gonna want to book you if you're stuck. So I'm just trying to be the funniest dude I can be and not piss people off. That's what I do. You know what I noticed? I pissed off a lot of nerds because it's funny. I was saying this I had a bit last night that I was doing. I was performing last night. And I'm the most self-hated nerd. Not all the nerdy shit, if you can see. But the fucked up part is I hate nerds at the same time. Cause I'm like the Uncle Tom of the nerd world. Cause I'm just I don't know how you feel, man. I'm just sick of these motherfuckers just complaining about shit.
People always have to find something to complain about.
Yeah, they got them fucking Ninja Turtles film. I actually got into it with some fucking doofy ass fucking nerd on social media about the shit. He gonna tell me he was all mad about it and shit because he said the movie sucked. I'm like, movie's alright, it's good. What are you talking about? If you like it, you like it. You don't, you don't. And I wanted a good script. I'm like, some fucking movie about overgrown talking turtles. How serious do you want it to be? It's for the kids. It's for the kids. Let the kids have their fun. You know what I mean? They fucking make macaroni shaped products for these kids. And here's the funny part. That's when he got pissed. He tried to go in on me. And he was like, "Well, listen, that's crazy. I'm tired of people saying kids have shit taste in films." I'm like, "Yeah, motherfucker. Kids do have shitty taste in films. What the fuck you talk about? I ain't never met a 3-year-old that was like, well, I wanted to go see Spider-Man, but I chose to see Captain Phillips instead." like Tom Hanks' performance was like the best thing since Brando and The Godfather. Like, no, you like shit's like shitty taste. I'm not gonna, it's, like what the fuck? Like if I saw that dude, I would have smacked the shit out of him.
Yeah, I mean, as an adult, I grew up with Ninja Turtles. The only reason why I decided not to go see it is because the CGI looked really terrible, and that would have bothered me watching it. So I don't know if the story is good or not, but I like the good old animatronic stuff better. But I'm not going to sit there and complain. Like, yeah, it's for the kids. Like, the kids aren't going to know the difference.
Yeah, like, oh, taking a shit on my childhood. Yeah, newsflash, motherfucker, you ain't a child. Shut the fuck up. I'm telling you, Mandy, I hate to say this shit. I know you're not going to agree with me. But it's all good. I still love you. But if they go back to beating the shit out of nerds, I'm in front line for it. If they go back to stuffing nerds in lockers and beating the shit out of them, I'm sorry, you got to burn it on yourselves. All right?
Maybe you're the only ones that complain about crap. I don't want to be shoved in the locker.
Now, I'm sorry. They go back to the days when they just pummel nerds, just pummel them or something. Shit.
Oh, Greg.
Come on, I'm just a fucking angry.
You're a nerd. You're a nerd too.
I know I'm a nerd, but I'm a cool nerd though.
Uh-huh.
I'm a cool nerd, like like I don't know. I'm a nerd, but I don't, I complain about shit. You know what it is.
You do. You complain all the time.
I don't complain.
Like I said, we all have something to complain about. It's just the way we choose to complain about it.
Yeah, I was complaining to you about the ice bucket challenge. I was like, yo, if anybody fucking challenge me with that dumbass, goofy ass, retarded ass shit, will smack the shit out you. The fuck would you pour cold water on yourself just to raise awareness? Was it the ALS fucking Lou Gehrig's disease? The shit is named after a baseball player. How much more of awareness do you want?
Maybe I need to start something weird, like dump a bucket of worms on your head for lupus.
Oh, you gonna throw that at me now? Throw that at me now? Boy, I'll start what for Lyme disease? Like, come on.
Like I said before we started this live thing, it's just a tactic to get people to pay more attention. It may be stupid to some people, but it is working. It's bringing way more attention to something like that.
Yeah,
with any cause you want, help with, but it's hard because there's just so much out there.
They bring attention, all right. They show you how fucking retarded people are. I'm gonna pour some water. Like, I'm pretty sure that little African kid in Africa has got to walk 50 miles barefooted just to get his family a glass of water. Really appreciates us over here in America just playing and like that. Jesus Christ, people.
I'll just continue to drink my coffee.
Don't bother me, folks. I'm just saying.
My coffee mug is really cool.
Jack Skellington?
Yep.
How did I not know?
Can everybody see my link back there in my Boss Maru? They're my favorite things.
Did you get that mug at Hot Topic?
No. Wait, this?
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. I did get this from Hot Topic, but oh my god, when was that? I was still living in Virginia at the time, and I was still in high school? Yeah, that's forever ago. But I bought a lot of Nightmare for Christmas stuff from Hot Topic because every Halloween and Christmas they would have like massive displays. And I'm a sucker for getting Nightmare for Christmas stuff, so.
You were a gothic kid, wasn't you, in high school? You were one of those kids that just wore all black, wore like.
Okay, here's the thing. I've never thought, I've never labeled myself. I did hang out with gothic kids. I still hang out with gothic people. I DJ at a goth club. I prefer to go to goth clubs over other clubs just because I enjoy the music a little bit more and the atmosphere a little bit more. But I've never considered myself gothic.
What do they do at goth clubs? I'm curious. Like, what do they do? What kind of music listen to that they dance and all that stuff?
Oh man, if I dug up all my like club photos from when I was still in my early 20s, you'd laugh at me.
Hmm.
I like would deck myself out in gothic clothing.
I think I scared gothic kids. I went to a gothic club. Here come my ignorant ass walking in there. That's the one thing I'm starting to realize. I realize, like, listen. Here's the thing. I'm not a jerk. Like, I'm a lovable guy. I'm like a lovable asshole, which means I'm a jerk. You know what I mean? I am from Jersey, which is where assholes are made. But I mean, yeah,
And
I'm
it
like,
smells like ass in New Jersey.
oh yeah, I'm pretty sure Seattle smells any better. Like, come on,
Only if you're downtown. If you're downtown, you smell bum pee everywhere. That's pretty much.
but there's some funky ass parts of Jersey. I'm not gonna lie, it is. But everybody knows Jersey. You go on that Jersey Turnpike, trust me.
Oh my
go,
god, I hate the Jersey Turnpike.
go near exit 14B. Uh, that's Jersey City.
Oh,
Shut up.
by the way, I just have to show you my sleepy kitty. Look at
Oh,
that face. Look at that face. Okay, you can go back to
yeah,
sleep now.
I can actually hit my cat. Her fat ass is in there sleeping.
I've been sitting here like petting him, and every time he walks by me, he like tries to take my cord with him.
Oh, did you see the picture that I had with my cat?
No. Oh
Oh,
wait. Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I did because I did like it. Because I like
oh,
any picture with a cat in it.
yeah, we me mugging. That was a 90s hip hop album cover. We was just like,
Oh.
and since we're talking about cats, I'm gonna tell you a little story. Check this out. Now,
Okay.
anybody knows me, I love my cat. Like it's weird. Like my cat's like my child. Like it's like my daughter. Like you know what I mean? Because like I don't want kids. Kids are fucking evil. But anyway, it's another topic on its own. But I love my cat. Like my cat is like the coolest cat in the world because she's lazy as fuck, but she's lazy cool because she knows she's like the princess. Like I got her like a pink collar that's all like blinged out and shit, and she knows she's spoiled. And she's like a good cat. She really is. She's really friendly, very lovable. She can be a jerk sometimes, but she is. But check this out. Now there's a stray cat that's like around my complex. And every so often, it's like me and my wife will feed the cat, you know. And we was like really, it was somebody's cat. It had to have been somebody's like house cat or whatever. And I'm a sucker for like cats and pets and shit like that. And we were real close to like, you know what, let's bring it in. And I have a friend who's a vet, like bring it to the vet, see who has any diseases, get the shots and all that stuff. We felt bad. Bella, that's my cat's name. Bella put a stop to that shit. We like right here, you can see like there's this like the screen door right there leads to the patio, and the cat was out there. That's when we feed the cat. And Bella comes out and sees the cat outside, and the only thing that's separating the two cats is the screen door. Bella saw that cat, and I shit you not, Mandy, I did not know my cat was an undercover gangster. Her back arched up, and she started that hissing. She went, I was like, oh shit, Bella. She was giving that cat like, nigga, you don't get the fuck out of here. This is my domain. You will not get my food. You ain't getting my spot. And that cat ain't been back since. I feel so goddamn bad. I'm wondering, I'm hoping the cat's alright because it don't come around no more because then my big ass cat and scared it off. I was like, damn. I was thinking about getting another cat because you know when you get a cat, like, oh, now I want another cat or something. That shit is not going to happen as long as Bella's around.
Yeah, my cat. I mean, all cats are weird. My cats are very weird. When my little cat sees another cat or feels threatened, I guess. I don't know. she puffs up, but then she actually stands on her hind legs, and she can stand for quite a while, and she only does this when she's like, oh my god, what is that?
Oh yeah, my cat.
Super hilarious.
My cat's a fucking creep, man. She does this thing where she'll go out in the hallway, and then she'll stand like in the hallway in the doorway, and she's like looking in the bedroom, but she's just sitting there like, what are you doing?
I just have to say hi to Madeline. She's in New Zealand, and she's said hi to me, and she can see me live. So, hi, Madeline.
Oh, word, Madeline? It's like that. You can't say hi to me. I know you don't know me, but goddamn, Madeline. Word. Word. All right, I got you, Madeline. Well, good, Madeline.
Yeah, Madeline's very pretty.
Yes?
I have a crush on Madeline. It's no
Really?
secret.
I want to see it now.
I'll show you a picture later. She's a derby girl too, which is even hotter. I love derby chicks.
Really? Because, I'm looking for a girlfriend on the side. I'm just putting it out there.
Well, she lives in New Zealand.
Is she coming back to the States?
I don't know. She actually is working on The Hobbit.
Oh, really?
She's worked on the Hobbit movies and Lord of the Rings as an effects designer or something.
Hey, she come back to the States now. I'm looking for a girlfriend on the side. I had a conversation with my wife the other day.
Well, maybe one day we can get her on the show and interview her, because she's a really, really talented person.
Madeline, if you watch it, I want you on the show. Come on the show. Get out of me.
All right, I digress. I don't know what else to talk about. There's just been so much like I said earlier, there's just been so much negative stuff going on in the news that I've been trying to think of all the positive things and creative things to do to counteract all the negativity.
Well, that's a beautiful thing, because you have been busy. I've seen you've been busy, and you seem a little happy. I know you were going through a rough patch.
I'm relatively happy. I basically started trying to rebrand myself, I guess. I'm in the process of redesigning my website, but I also have been designing the website for Moon Sounds Records and the website for Dr. Sketchies. And we're rebranding Dr. Sketchies. Just a quick thing, if nobody knows what Dr. Sketchies is, it's a live drawing event with burlesque performers, circus performers, performers of any kind, and you get to live draw them for a few hours. And there's different chapters all over the world. It was started by Molly Crabapple in New York City. So yeah, I am a part of that, and since we're rebranding the Seattle chapter, I am working on the website, trying to get all of my past photos of the events up. So yeah, when I have all this other stuff on my plate, I end up falling, my own stuff ends up falling by the wayside because I'm so focused on helping other people. So yeah, I am in the process of rebranding myself and redesigning my website and getting that kind of stuff together.
It's a beautiful thing, and that's nowadays, especially nowadays, we live in that age where you are a brand. You know what I mean? You are a brand, so that's a good thing. I mean,
when you're putting your creativity and your stuff on the line, it's your face, it's your stuff. You have to brand it so people, eye-catching. You have to be eye-catching to people. The attention span of people these days is very, very short. So you have to grab someone immediately, and then as soon as you have their attention, you have to be interesting for at least 30 seconds. Otherwise, they move on to the next thing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, especially with the internet. Everything's boom, 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 fast.
It is.
Today is not going to be hot tomorrow, but yeah, I mean it's as far as me, I feel. The way I rebranded myself, focus on comedy and my love for comedy, being a comic, kind of didn't let the GSP, the Geek Supremacy Project, go by the waistline, but it's all good. You know, you stuck it out with me. Everybody left me whole. They left me for dead.
Well, you know, I'm still here. I still love you.
You're the only one. Shit. I told.
Well, people, like, lives get in the way. Scheduling is hard. Like,
that is. You was my ride or die. You my ride or die. Right hand man. Everybody else left me for dead. I was like, God damn. Jesus Christ. But you know what, though? I'm not mad. Like I said, things happen for a reason. Things happen for a reason. And in turn, I never would have pursued a career or really focused my energy in comedy, you know, and being a comic. You know what I mean? And I think when I was podcasting, that helped a lot. You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, the first time I ever started this show, I was insanely nervous. I still kind of get nervous. Not only because it's live, but because I'm putting myself out there on video, and I always felt weird doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's gotten more and more comfortable.
Well, that's because like you do like burlesque and stuff.
Yeah, no, I am still, every time I am doing an act, I get super nervous, even if I've done that act like 10 times. I'm always super nervous right before I go on, but as soon as I hit the stage, like, all of that goes away, and I'm, like, in a different, like, world.
That makes sense. I mean, for me, I go perform, doing stand-up. I always get the bubble guts, so butterflies, and I get nervous. But I tell you this though, but it's funny because I bombed before, but when I bomb, it's so weird because then that's when all the blood rushes from my feet to my face. Then I'm like stepping on jokes and shit, and I'm like, fuck. But I mean, a lot of people say I'm comfortable doing podcasts. I think it's me, and I'm just I'm just talking. I think that's why I gravitated towards stand up because it's me. Like, I'm not an actor per se, but if an acting opportunity came along, I'll definitely take it. I'll definitely go into acting because I don't want to just throw everything into stand up because other ventures like acting or sketch comedy or something like that can open more doors to stand up and get me more bookings because then I have the credits. But I will always fall back on stand up because it's me, it's my evaluation. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Yeah, and like I said with my music, it's extremely vulnerable. Being on stage, doing your comedy bit has got to feel extremely vulnerable because you're putting yourself out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's, side note before we get into this. Let's show your cat. We'll show my cat.
Oh, kitty cat.
Yeah, Bells.
Oh, so cute.
Wait, what in the fuck is going on? Be closer. I love this cat. All right. Go ahead and eat. I know you want to. And that's when she's going right to that bowl. But, yeah, I mean, it's not so much. I don't want to say. I don't feel vulnerable per se. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's just because as a comic, you feel everything. You know what I mean? Comics, comedians, we feel the most. I'm not going to dwell on it because it's a dark subject, but we know the death of Robert Williams was an unfortunate situation. But, it was funny when that situation happened, they kept doing all these articles about comedy and the sadness of it. And I'm like, yeah, why did it take the death of Robert Williams for you to see that? Comedy comes from a dark place. Like, the happy, hopefully do. That's the, that was the class clown in your high school. That's the not die at the party. Comics, I mean, improv comics and sketch comics who do improv, they're very happy, lucky people because improv is getting out of your head, Improv is it's an acting art. It's an acting technique that was turned into an art form. So even still, as an improviser, you still have that actor in you. So you want to be other people, like an actor. But comics, like a stand-up comic, it's about you. So it comes from a dark place. It comes from even improv is from a dark place too. But it comes from a dark place. It comes from, Cat Williams said it best. Comedians are born out of darkness. They're born out of darkness. You know what I mean? We're naturally cynical. We have a different view on life. That's why, Cat Williams said it best. A comic is cynical and he doesn't believe everything and he doesn't trust everything. That's why we always have our eyebrow up. We disagree with the ice bucket challenge, but that's why, my eyebrows up with it. We're just you know what I mean? We're just, that's why other comics tend to gravitate to other comics, because we have the genie, and so, we get each other. Comics, you gotta have a hint of brutality. I attack things in a brutal way. You know what I mean? I know it's kind of hard for people to deal with, but it is what it is. But I think the best example that I can give, a friend of mine who's an actor said this story, and it's like a story. It's about a guy who goes to a psychiatrist, and he goes, "Doctor, I'm depressed. I don't know what to do. Give me something to feel better." So the psychiatrist goes, "Well, you need to go see this clown named Miyachi." I'm totally fucking up the name, but he pretty much said, "Go see this clown. He's a clown in class. Go see this clown. He's in town. He's the best clown there is. He's funny. He'll make you feel better. You won't be depressed." The guy looks up at the psychiatrist and goes, "I'm that clown." And that's a comic for you.
Well, I always get irritated when people tear comics down because of sensitive subjects that they talk about. But honestly, the reason why we have comedy is to distract ourselves from the negativity that's going on in the world. So of course, making fun of the bad things takes you out of that negative moment.
Absolutely.
At least to me, that's the way I think about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, for example, are you familiar with that comedian Tosh? He has the show on Tosh on Comedy Central, Tosh 2.0 or some shit like that.
Who is it?
His name is Tosh. Tosh. He has the show.
Oh, yeah. I'm not particularly fond of him, but yeah,
You know of him though.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of him or his brand of comedy, but there was a situation with him where he made a joke or something in one of his sets, so he had a special about rape or something like that, and he offended somebody, something like that. Now, the thing about that was, and I was actually talking with a friend about it, and I said, I think as a comic you can joke about anything. I wouldn't joke about rape only because I haven't found the humor in it, nor do I want to seek it. If that makes sense. I don't want to seek it, but I haven't found the humor. If I found the humor in it, then maybe I haven't found a way to talk about it. But I just haven't found the humor. But he did. Now, even if it was insulting, this is what I say: if you're going to a comedy club or a theater, whatever, to see comedy, you know what you're going, what you're getting yourself into. You know what I mean? And it's and that's what bothers me about certain hecklers. I don't care, whatever, that's part of the game, hecklers and shit like that. But I hate the social hecklers, the hecklers that's in the crowd when you say something, they get offended. Well, that's not funny. It's you're at a comedy show. You didn't book me for this gig. You paid to come see me. You're in my house. Okay? I have the mic. You're in my house. You don't like what I have to say? Get your shit and get the fuck out. And that's it. You know what I mean? So, it's taking that as taking that negative and turning it into a positive. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You know, and that's like, even looking at things in hindsight as a kid, that's how I dealt with things with comedy, was being funny. You know, whether you're using it as a defense or a weapon.
Sorry, I was looking at the other forums and stuff. Nobody's commented or left questions or anything. We're not that cool.
People suck. No, I'm kidding.
No, I have people privately messaging me.
Little post messages, not private messages. I got the memo wrong. I got it fucked up.
Okay, so I have a question for you. Who's your favorite comic?
Woo, that's a tough one. My favorite comic. I don't have a favorite comic like one person I can pinpoint, but I have a whole bunch. One I would say, and I like them for different reasons. Kind of like because anybody knows me, I'm a huge boxing fan. I used to box, so I like different boxers for different reasons. So the same thing with comedy. Like I love Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy is one of, if not probably the greatest stand-up walking around at the moment. I know he retired. He hasn't been stand-up since he was 25, but and he hasn't made a great film. I get it. He's been doing these TV films, but like pre Doctor Dolittle, Eddie Murphy. I mean, he took stand-up to another level. He made it like a rock star. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Like he made it like a rock star. Like before Eddie, stand-up comics or just comedians in general were seen one way. You know what I mean? They were seen one way. You had a bunch of guys who would be in their 20s dressing up like they're in their 40s. Eddie was 19 when he kind of broke loose. He started comedy when he was like 15. He broke on the scene like he was on SNL at 19. And he was 19 years old, so he dressed like a 19-year-old. Hip hop was just starting at the time, so he had the leather suits. That's where the outfits came from. You had the whole rock star appeal. I mean, if it wasn't for Eddie, you wouldn't have comedians able to do a film like Jonah Hill would not be able to do a 21 or 22 Jump Street if it was for Eddie Murphy, because you never saw comedians do action films. Eddie Murphy did Beverly Hills Cop. He did 48 Hours. Like, he was the first comedian to like break out, and he's a talented motherfucker. I mean, he can sing, he can dance, he can act. I mean, he can do stand up. I mean, he's like the greatest walking stand up in my opinion. Who else? Obviously Richard Pryor, because Richard Pryor was the first. You know, when you talk about vulnerability, he was the first comic to show that. To show that vulnerability, to say, okay, I'm going to be vulnerable on stage. I'm going to take everything negative in my life and I'm going to put it on Front Street. You know what I mean? Everything from being a drug addict to damn near set myself on fire and all these things. And he was the first comic to do that. George Carlin was definitely one of the best. I mean, Carlin, holy shit. I mean, he was funny to the day he died. You know,
Robin Williams.
You know, Robin Williams. Robin Williams was like, this is how I say it. Louis C.K. is a comic. Robin Williams was a comedian's comedian. He was a comedian's comedian. He was a comedian. Robin Williams, next to Eddie Murphy, it was Robin Williams in that sense where those two are freaks of nature. Because Robin Williams started in stand-up too. But it's you don't find too many stand-ups. Like most stand-ups, they do gravitate to acting. But it's kind of like the equivalent of like a musician going into acting, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because not every stand-up comic can be a great actor, but like Eddie Murphy and Robin Williams transitioned to acting, and they were able to do characters, which, you know what I mean, which is like unheard of, because when a person that comes from the improv scene, when they do a character, they become the character, because improv is, you know, it's an acting technique turned to an art form. Stand-up's about you. So when a stand-up does like a character, we're kind of like making it known we're doing the character. Eddie became the character, which was scary. Robin Williams, he became the character, which was scary. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. And like a freak of nature, like a saint, like Jesus Christ, like this to have that ounce of talent, like holy shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, totally. I tend to gravitate towards literal humor and dry humor. Like, I love Dimitri Martin, but he's not for everybody. I love Wes Anderson stuff. Like, I like that kind of like just flatline, like dry humor. It's hilarious to me.
Oh, speaking of which, too, Patrice O'Neill, the late great Patrice O'Neill. Patrice O'Neill, him and Bernie Mac are like my kings. Like they are my kings of comedy.
Hmm.
Like Patrice, Jesus Christ, Patrice, like he was able to make, even if you didn't agree with what he said, what he said, you still came out and was like, I can see your point of view, though. Like that's how smart he was, a philosopher in that way. Um, Bill Burr, I love Bill Burr. Bill Burr has like one of the best delivery in the game. He's one of the best observational comics. Um, and Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle is another he's another living legend walking on the earth. Like Dave Chappelle, his his jokes are so smart and so fucking brilliant to the point where you watch his shit and you're like, how the fuck did he come up with that? Because he's so laid back, you know what I mean? He's
Hmm.
so laid back, and you're like, how the fuck did he come up with that? You know, Chris Rock, one of the best, you know, topical comics that ever lived. You know,
I like C.K. Lewis. At first, I didn't really like him. I don't know, and then there's some sort of weird charm about him that I actually started to like, and I watched part of the show that he has on
oh,
Netflix.
oh, Louis,
It made me so uncomfortable.
really?
But like just some of the scenes were just so uncomfortable. Like it's hard to like watch such awkwardness, but I loved it.
I love Louis. Louis C.K. has one of the funniest shows on television. Oh, you know who I love? Like I said, Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac. I love Bernie Mac because Bernie Mac was fearless. There's a story. Every comic knows this story. He, when he was younger, and he had a gig at the Apollo, and every comic got booed. And Bernie Mac gets on stage, looks at the crowd, and now Bernie Mac talks. Bernie Mac's like, I'm gonna let y'all know, I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. And he got him. I was like, fearless. And they had a documentary on Comedy Central about him. And it was so inspiring. Like the amount of work that he put in. You know, a lot of people think Bernie hit the scene in the 90s, in the mid 90s, when Def Comedy Jam was at its height. A lot of people don't know that Bernie Mac was in the game since 1977 in Chicago. Like, holy shit. Like, just putting in the work. And speaking of comics, too, like female, I'm a huge fan of female comics. I love female comics. I love.
Natasha Leggero! Natasha Leggero!
Oh, God, she's funny. You know I love Natasha Leggero because Natasha is funny because she'll come on stage and she has the fur and she has the jewelry on and and she's just so like cool. She has the lounge singer thing going on. Like there's not too many comics that can play the cool factor because you know comedy's not about playing it cool, but certain comics can pull it off. But that's a tricky thing to pull off. And she pulls it off nice.
Yeah, yeah. Oh shoot, there's someone else that I really like. A female comic. Now I'm spacing on her name.
Oh, I like Elijah Schlesinger.
I don't know that one.
Look her up. She's funny. Um, I just had it tip of my tongue. Oh, Maria Bamford.
Yes, that's what I was spacing on. Maria Bamford. She, oh my gosh, she is so awkward, and it's not an act. Like that is her when she's on stage, and it looks like she's playing a character, but that is her. And she talks about all of her life experiences in her jokes. Um, I found out that she has to write everything out and rehearse it. So she like is very meticulous about what she's saying.
Well,
Because she gets so like nervous and awkward.
yeah,
Um,
most
she
comic
went. She was in rehab. Like she talks about that. Like she's just a really awkward person, and she found a
yes,
way to like put herself out there creatively and I don't know, make it work. It's very. I think she's very brave for doing it.
yeah. So with her, she's very open with her battle with mental illness and depression and suicide and all those things. And
She
she,
definitely is someone that takes like the most horrific parts about living and like depression and sadness and turns it into comedy. Like I think she's brilliant.
that's that's comedy right there, taking nothing out of something, making it into something. I don't know if you saw her last special. She had a special where she did it in her house, and her audience was her parents.
Yeah, no, I saw that. It was brilliant. I loved it.
I was like, who does that shit? Who does that?
Yeah, that
Oh,
was great.
I love
Do you
it.
ever watch the show At Midnight with Chris Hardwick?
Yeah, I caught a couple episodes.
I've watched every single episode so far. Like, one, I just love the Nerdist. I love like everything that he's done. Like, I've followed him since before they got partnered with Legendary and got really super popular. Like, he is a great actor, great comedian, and he gets like some of the greatest people on that show. My favorite episode was the one that had the entire state on it because I've always thought the state was the best show ever.
Oh yeah, oh, that's back in the day, 90s.
I know. I was like 13 when that came out, and I loved it more than SNL. Like I just thought it was one of the best skit comedy shows out there. Um, but yeah, like people like Natasha Leggero, Doug Benson, um, Steve Agee, like they all come on that show, and it's so fucking hilarious.
Yeah, he did give another platform for comics to get exposure, which is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and another reason I like that show is it reminds me of Remote Control and Nickelodeon. Did you ever watch like Remote Control when you were younger?
Oh yeah, that was on MTV with
Yeah. No,
Power Book.
wasn't it on Nickelodeon? I thought it was a Nickelodeon.
You know
Or was
what?
it an MTV thing? I don't remember.
It was an MTV thing. It was
Oh,
an
okay.
MTV. They could have, you know what? They could have played some of the episodes of Nickelodeon only because they were both owned by Viacom, but it was an MTV thing.
Oh, okay, you're right. For some reason, I thought it was on Nickelodeon. Maybe there was something else that was similar that was on Nickelodeon. But yeah, Remote Control was on MTV, and it reminds me of Remote Control, but for the internet.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good show. I like At Midnight. I've saw a couple episodes. I haven't seen a lot of them, but what I've seen, they're funny. It's a lot of
Yeah.
good content on there.
All right. Well, it's about that time that we should be ending the show. So yeah, it's been fun catching up and letting all of like 2 or 3 people that's watched let it know what we've been up to, and hopefully, like I think because of my schedule, I'm only going to commit to doing the show once a month instead of trying to force it like every other week like I did before. But yeah, the show's back for a third season. Yay!
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm happy.
um,
You kept the show on this fucking sinking ship.
so yeah, if you want to follow us on our creative adventures, most of my stuff out there is tagged like has the handle Mandy McGee Photo. I'm very easy to find on Facebook, Twitter, all that kind of stuff. You can follow me. And Greg, what is yours?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Gregory Hall 5000. You can also follow me on Instagram, Gregory Hall 5000. So do that, and I'll update you guys all my comedic adventures. Like I said in the show earlier, I'll be performing at Broadway Comedy Club on September 12th for Sophia and Friends Comedy Showcase. Come on out. If you guys want the information, you have to call and get reservations. I think I have the info. Give me 1 second. Bear with me because my computer's doing
We can put the links in the description when the video is uploaded.
Yeah. Let me say because I'll forget. You know, I'm fucking lazy. Okay, here it goes. Okay, I think I found it. All right. Yes. Broadway Comedy Club. If you're gonna come out and see me perform, call and make reservations. It's on 318 West 53rd Street in New York City. Reservations call 212-757-2323.
Yes, and then my next show, which I'm not going to be in, I'm probably going to be like sort of stage kittening. We have some weird like scripted things going on in the show, but the John Waters theme show, it's a tribute to John Waters called Filthy and Divide. It's mostly burlesque. We have one live band, Lady Krishna's Peppermint Lounge, which is amazing, and a couple of drag performers. So yeah, it'll be all things John Waters. If you are in the Seattle area, it's at Columbia City Theater on September 25th. If you follow me, you'll probably see me link to the event page and all that. So yeah, that's all I'm focusing on right now, and I do, other than some of the photography stuff, because I have a show coming up in October. But yeah, that's what's going on, and you'll see us again, or hopefully we'll have some cool guests coming on next month.
For sure.
That's it. That's all I have. And you can follow me on Instagram too. I do share my Instagram photos, or most of them, to Facebook and Twitter, but because I'm trying not to put so many pictures on Facebook, other than the pictures, like my music pictures and stuff like that I take. You can follow me on Instagram underneath the same name that I said before, especially if you like cats, because I'm a crazy cat lady and I take constant pictures of my cat.
And I'm a cat father. I love my cat. I don't know, actually I went back to sleep.
Alright, are you ready to end the broadcast?
I'm ready to end it. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us.
Alright, thank you. Till next time. Bye.
Peace.